Right, back and record. So yeah, for now, like
Do you want me to
if
go
you,
back to
if
the
you,
books?
yeah, I mean, I don't just say three things. If somebody said to you, "How did being put in a children's home and then abused, how did that impact on your life?" Just if you could say three things, A, B, C. Like for instance, the obvious question is, have you been married and had kids? Have you been able to make relationships work?
No, never.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Never. I've not had children. I
Oh.
have one working tube. I did finally go and have a look. But sometimes, like I say, God works in mysterious ways. I maybe wasn't meant to have them. And I don't, and I miss not having children, especially now when I would have had my grandchildren. But sometimes I feel blessed I've not had them because I don't think I was mentally strong. If now, if I was 30 with this mentality, then yes. But no, I took a long, 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 long time to grow up, Angie. I didn't grow up until I was about 45.
I know, I know. I've been listening to a guy called Paul Hegstrom, and he says if you experience trauma in the first 7 to 9 years, even up to 11, whereby you're rejected or you're abused, he's got these 5 things that it arrests your development. And he
Yeah.
literally says it changes your brain pathways and it overproduces adrenaline, and you just can't get past, you just can't grow up. Even your brain can't, it's not even a case of you being immature or selfish. It's just literally your brain
Yeah.
is wired a certain way from trauma during the formative years. And until you process that and reprogram the brain pathways, there is no solution. Do you know what I mean? And that's why people end up either with addictions or depression or suicide or
Which
just alone, But I'm just suspicious because of what you said with diabetes and because of what you said with a couple of other things. I'm just suspicious as to why you were infertile and why you had only one tube functioning. That's just a whole other rabbit hole, but I think that's worth investigating.
I remember
Because,
asking if I could have I called a doctor once. It was to prove a point to somebody. They says, of course you can get your blood group. I says, you can't get your blood group unless you're pregnant. So I called the doctor and I says, I'd like to know what my blood group is. They went, oh, we can't tell you. Why do they not tell you?
yeah, I know, especially if you're rhesus negative, because I was reading up about that.
Yeah.
And I meant to save it for you, actually. It was something about rhesus negative.
No, I was rhesus negative. I don't know what I am.
You still don't know?
No, I don't know. I've never been pregnant. I don't know what my blood group is.
Wow. Well, we'll have to fix that. We'll have to find a way for you to find out that's ridiculous. But I was hearing about rhesus negative, and they're very sought after because
Yeah.
they can donate to anybody. Like you can donate your blood or your organs, and they will be compatible with any other group.
That's right, of course.
But the other way round is not so much. So if your mother or somebody that was rhesus negative needed blood or organs, it's much more complicated.
My aunt in Canada, when she gives blood, she gets paid for it because she's rhesus.
Yeah, well, I think you should definitely. I think I know somebody else that asked for a blood test and they were told 50 quid. But do you know what? If it's 50 quid, it's the best 50 quid you could spend.
She never even said that at the surgery. Give us 50 quid and we'll tell you. I want to know what my blood group is. I think it's my blood group.
Yeah, well, you can get it done. You have to. And if not, get it done privately. But it is, very suspicious not to tell you. So just tell me. So one thing is that, health-wise, and I would suspect this is connected, you couldn't have children. Psychologically wise, couldn't sustain a relationship, which I think is the most common fallout.
Of course.
From childhood abuse. And what would you say a third thing was? Do you think you ever achieved your potential or?
Oh, not at all. No, I'm terrified of rejection even to this day. I mean, I could really love somebody and want to be with that person, but I'd be terrified to tell them in case they told me no. I won't
Yeah.
approach. I will never approach. I'll do without rather than.
And what about anxiety and depression and
Yes,
mental health issues?
I suffer with severe anxiety, panic attacks. I had asthma late in life. I now have COPD.
Yeah.
You know, I do have still an addictive personality, whether it be, you know, like cleaning.
Yeah.
I get into certain foods that I'll just eat that for a while. I stress a lot. I worry actually about worrying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I realise that I'm so crippled with it. Like,
Yeah,
even something as simple as saying, you know, I'll talk to you at such and such time, that can just stress my whole day out.
of
The
course.
fact that I've made a commitment it's insane.
Yeah, I've
It's
got
just
everything I do to the mark. Like if I'm going out, I have to know exactly how I'm going, and I get out of sorts if it's out of kilter.
yeah, if anything changes, yeah. And do you mind asking, do you take medication?
I take my medication for COPD,
Okay.
but I don't think it's doing anything.
And do you take any antidepressants or anything like
Yes,
that?
I'm on mirtazapine, but I don't take them religiously.
Right. And for the most part, would you say you've overcome the addictions, whatever they were, other than cigarettes? Clearly.
My drugs.
Huh?
With my drugs, yes, of course.
Well, you say yes, of course, but getting off heroin and crack cocaine is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Do you know there's only something like 2% of people get off those kind of drugs?
Yeah, I know that. I do.
So don't underestimate that. That is phenomenal.
I mean, heroin is literally physical. You know, it's horrendous. But crack cocaine is weak of the mind.
I know. I put a video up about crack cocaine that my niece talked about. It's a horrendous drug, but it's supposed to be one step down from heroin. But I've even heard people say that nicotine is more addictive than heroin.
Oh, well, you do get cravings, but heroin, you're physically sick, your joints ache, you're sweating, and you throw the covers off and you're freezing cold. And this goes on, not for 3 days. This goes on, it's like for at least a month, your whole body isn't yours.
Did you go to rehab or anything, or did you just
myself? Oh, see all this, I've got to go away, I've got to come off. You've got to return to where your environment was. So me personally, why go away from it? You have to do it, even though, because you have to move house otherwise, because them temptations are going to be there when you come back. So sort it out where you are. I do believe that you have to ostracize certain friends. That's another reason I don't have any friends. But the friends I do have been long-term friends who don't touch it anyway.
So do you find that your safest way to exist is just to isolate?
Well, it's not just that. I don't trust very easily either. So I do tend to keep people at arm's length because it protects yourself, doesn't it? It protects.
I know, but it's so lonely, and it's not the way human beings were meant to be.
Yes.
No, I think that's the biggest price we've paid. It's like, I think, you know, every human being has the desire to love and be loved.
Well, of course, but I
used to think that's so simple. Why can't, like, I would see friends, you know, getting married and being happy and this, and I would think, why can't I have that? Why is that so?
I'd love to have the white picket fence and the lovely husband or somebody to care for me, but I just see that I'm not ever going to have that in life. But they say never say never, so always live in hope.
And can I ask you, without being too personal, have you ever been to jail?
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've been to Holloway twice, Drake Hall twice, Corntonvale twice.
Oh, my God. And how long would you have spent in?
I did 2 3-month sentences. I done fines. 7 days, 7 days.
Oh God, I can't imagine. Okay, well, we can go deeper on this, because I know it goes so much deeper, because I don't know about you, but until you get help, you keep reproducing the trauma. You keep making it happen again. Do you find that you drew it to yourself as an adult? You kept making the same thing because that's what you thought you deserved. Do you know what I'm saying?
My father always used to say to me, Beth, there could be a pair of identical twins at the bottom of the gate, and you'll always pick the wrong one.
I know. It's kind of, yeah.
And rather than go through all that, I can't be bothered. I'm 58 years of age. I can't be bothered going through all that newness of relationships, somebody getting to know me, because nothing lasts forever. I don't care what you say, nothing lasts forever. Human beings were not meant to be monogamous. Me personally,
I disagree with that.
Something that's not monogamous.
No, I disagree with that, but that we can let, agree to disagree.
I've always been monogamous.
But they're not.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah.
Well, look, all I can say is, you were insured the minute you went into care.
Yeah, I saw that.
They had to take out an insurance policy on you that you would not come to any harm, and I've never met a survivor that did it for the compensation, and it offends me so deeply, because, to be honest, we could talk for 5 hours about the fallout. We've only scratched the surface about what the consequences are, but I do want you to go full out. I'm talking to myself as well. I want you to go full out and to get some redress, to get some compensation for what you've been through. Claim, there's an insurance claim, there's an insurance policy on every child.
Scotland, or yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Great Britain, that every child that was put in care, it's just like when your kids join a soccer club, or when your kids, like, I don't know, in Ireland, when the kids go to school, every year you'd pay an extra £8 or something just for insurance, and nobody ever claimed. And it's not, the thing is, there's no shame in that. I think it will never pay us back our lives. Do you know what I mean? No amount of money
No, of course.
will ever pay us back our lives. But at least, we shouldn't, after going through everything we've been through and battling with mental injuries, which I don't call them mental illnesses, I call them mental injuries, and ending up alone, primarily as a consequence, I think the least that we're owed is that we don't have to be freaking out about, can I pay my rent, can I pay my bills, can I afford to be unwell, can I afford to have PTSD, so I just pray that you go ahead and do, make your claims, just do it and don't give up on that.
Well, now that I know exactly what he's got, I'll be able to put a letter in and just say to them,
the fact is, totally. And even if you hadn't, well, I suppose it would have had to be proved, but, there was an insurance policy on Elizabeth Donnelly, you were put in care, you came to great harm in care, it's now proven in black and white, you're entitled to claim. So just, I don't know, I know there's some very unscrupulous solicitors out there. I met a lad on a march outside Parliament with Brenda McNamara, and he had been awarded 10 grand, and the solicitor said to him, you owe me 20.
Oh, cool.
I know. So, so there's some very unscrupulous legal teams out there. The survivors are getting offered 5 or 10 grand, which is absolutely outrageous. And then the solicitors are saying, well, you owe that to me and more. So, be wise and...
Well, he's applying for legal aid. That's one of the forms that I have to sign, but I have to send up bank statement, proof of identification and photograph of identification, and to sign the papers. But I will put a little letter that I've just waited until the 20th. He's been put on the sex offenders list, but I've also since found out about, we've all been insured when we go into children's home. I put that bit in, but it would be ideal if we could get, how did I get that printed and sent to him?
I don't know, but if you Google it, you're so good. You've taught yourself so much. Just print it out or get some. I'll try and get onto that tip for you. But if I can't, somebody will. And don't even get tripped up with, oh, you've got to go through legal aid and this, that, and the other. It's black and white. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You had an insurance policy. You had an abuser. He's been found guilty. He's been sent to jail. It's a walk in the park, even if you represent yourself.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't know if it was you or Graham that put up a post about they're trying to stop all claims on sexual abuse.
Yeah, that was me. It was UK column Brian Gerrish, but I'd already heard it from several survivors, and one of the ones that was most clued up on it was Melanie Shaw, because the insurance companies, mostly backed by Zurich, are threatening county councils that if you pay out any more child abuse victims, we're going to stop covering you. We're going to withdraw your insurance cover because you've cost us money. We're losing money because of all the payouts you're having to make. So, you know, sorry, that's not your problem. You know, and that's outrageous of Zurich or whoever it is saying that. But I'll send you the link. It's on, Brian Gerrish did an extensive thing on UK Column a few days ago about it.
Yeah.
But no, go down that road. You know, I know you got your closure by reporting and by backing up the other girl and by having the guts to go to court and by seeing him go down. But to me, there's no shame whatsoever in going the whole 9 yards. You know, it will never pay. It will never pay for being like we are, 58, on our own, you know, and resigned to being that way. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way the cookie crumbled. So we didn't deserve that.
It's a cushion to the blow.
I know. All right, sweetheart. Well, look, I'm going to put these up tomorrow, hopefully.
All right.
Before I travel, and I'm really proud of us both. Really proud of us both for doing this. And thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. But
and I love you.
And
I've got a scary thing to open, but I don't think I even want to open it.
Why?
No, because I'm like, there's only so much shit you can take. We don't get paid for this. And do you know what I mean? I've got other things on my head, and you know, I've got other things to do. I'm delighted we did this. I'll go to sleep happy now. But
if you need to talk or anything like that while you're going through the inquest or need a rant, give me a call. Angie.
Yeah, I know. I'll only have my laptop, but I'll call you. So just say a prayer tomorrow, and I'll put these up. And be prepared. Sometimes, I don't know, it's been easier for you because we've done it in 3 goes.
Yeah. But
be prepared to feel a bit anxious and angry and like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and oh my God, and what are people going to think? There's usually a real backlash when you go public.
I had the shame. I've lived the shame for so long that it's a walk in the bloody park now.
Okay. Well, you're an absolute credit to yourself.
Thank you, Angie. And we'll see you soon, my darling. Yeah?
All right. Love you loads. Take care.
Bye-bye.